All right, we are talking about standard form equation of a circle. So what that means is we're going to graph circles on an XY plane. This is topic 10, but we do this section, which is actually 9-3, in topic 10. So if you're looking for topic 10 material, you are not in the wrong place. So the formula is x minus h quantity squared, that just means parentheses, plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. And what we need to know is that h and k are the center of the circle. So think about it. I have a circle, and the center is right here on a graph. That is h comma k. And r is the radius, and we always square that. But the radius is anywhere from the center to an outside edge. That's how the length of it. So here's what that looks like. So using that formula, we're going to keep x and y. But instead of h and k, we're going to put the numbers there. And then instead of r squared, we're going to put what r is, so 8 squared. Now, x minus 0 is just x, and y minus 0 is just y. And then 8 squared is 64. That's it. Done. Pretty simple. So looking at another one, here's the part you want to keep in mind. For your center, since the original formula does have minus, we're always going to do the opposite. So since this is -2, it's actually going to be +2. And since this is +6, it's actually -6. And then what is 11 squared for our last number? Well, that is 121. If you don't have that memorized, you would type that in your calculator. Okay. And then the last problem here about circles is the ends of a diameter. So remember, diameter goes from one end to the other, and that the radius is half of that, and that the center of the circle must be in the dead middle. Okay, so the dead middle would be what's called midpoint, which midpoint, what do? Add them together and divide by 2. So we're going to take the x's and add them. So 19 plus -5. And then we're going to divide by 2. And that will give you 7. Then we're going to take the y values. And divide by 2. And that's going to give you 3. So my center is 7, 3. Now, for my radius, it's a 2-part problem before I can even write out the formula here. For my radius, it's going to be from the center to the edge, and that's the distance between the two. So recall that distance is the girl with the long hair, and the eyes and the nose, and the eyelashes, and the pupils. And then I subtract my x's, and I subtract my y's. Now, on this one, I'm going to go from the center, and I'm going to choose one of my points. It doesn't matter which point I choose. I'm going to keep it simple because these are both positive numbers. That's going to be a little easier to work with. So I'm going to say 19 minus 7 squared plus 8 minus 3 quantity squared. 19 minus 7 is 12 squared, And then 8 minus 3 is 5 squared. So 144 plus 25, I'm being a human calculator right now, is the square root of 169. Okay. You can actually just leave it right there because the number that we will use is the number under the radical. That is actually r squared right there. So the last part here, my center was minus 7, and then y minus 3 quantity squared equals 169. Okay. Okay. These you're just finding center and radius, so these should go really quick. There is nothing with x and y, so that means the center is at the origin, or 0, 0. The radius is the square root of 225, which is 15. In this example, remember it's always opposite, so it's not negative 14, it's positive 14, positive 18. And the radius is the square root of 36, which is just 6. And real quickly here, I'm actually not going to do every single one of these. I will do number 1 on the top and number 2 on the bottom. Okay. All right, so my center here is -1, -2. I'm just counting over to where this dot happens. My radius, I'm counting jumps. 1, 2, 3. So for my equation, it would just be x, remember it's opposite, plus 1 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals r squared. So remember, r squared here would be 9. So it equals 9. Going the opposite way here, my center would be -4, 3. And my radius would be the square root of 4, which is 2. So I'm going to go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. There's my center. Since my radius is 2, that means I'm going to count 2 up, 2 left, 2 down, and 2 right. And I'm going to do my best to draw my very best circle. There, I have graphed a circle. All right, so try the others on your own and then check the next slide to see if you got them correct. This concludes circles.